You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. It still is, and it always will be, whether you like it or not. Big up to you for joining us on this On the Radar special. The transfer window, as of midnight, opened, people. We are free to do business. How much business will we do? Let me know in the chat. Get your questions in. This is an On the Radar live special, but a bit of a live Q&A as well, as we discuss Leny Yoro, the 18-year-old centre-back from Lille, who is making big waves and is being touted by not only Liverpool, but also Manchester United. And of course, Real Madrid, all right, because they always seem to go for whatever we're after as well. So make sure you smash that like button. Let's get your comments in, flood the chat. I'm making people mods as well today. So if you do fancy becoming a mod of the chat, a moderator of the Kop TV's live chat, then make sure you get involved. Also, please, if you have not already, just take that little bit of time for me, please, to go and subscribe to the channel. You can only chat in the chat if you are a subscriber. That's a new rule that we've made. So please make sure you do that. And of course, we'll get through as many chats as we can and then get into the super chats if any are sent as well, which means that your comment gets bumped up to the top of the queue and I must read it out unless it's offensive. Then I won't. But that is the way to get your chat read out without question. Guys, the Euro starts today as well. I'm currently watching a bit of Sky Sports News. Germany, Scotland tonight. We are doing a live watch along for that on DR Sports. So make sure you head over to DR Sports tonight. I'm presenting with Robbie. So please get involved with that if you can. And obviously England kick off Sunday, 8 o'clock. What a horrible time that is, by the way. Sunday at 8 o'clock. There'll be some sore heads on Monday morning, I'm sure, all up and down the country. Right, let's get into Leny Yoro. Now, I think that's how you pronounce it, Leny Yoro, 18-year-old centre-back from Lille. I've seen him, not live, I'll be honest. I haven't seen too much, if anything, live. I'm not going to lie to you. But I've seen the comps, right? A lot of them say, welcome to Manchester United. Leny Yoro, welcome to Real Madrid. And I thought, let me actually see this guy and I make my own mind up on him and then ask you guys in the chat, is it absolutely brilliant? Sorry, lost you very briefly there, but we're back. Right, Leny Yoro. Let's just start off with the facts. Liverpool are in the market for a new centre-back. Tick. Are we in the market for an 18-year-old ball-playing centre-back, a right footer that can come out with the ball, can find a pass, can split and cut lines with, precise passes? 18 years old to be making this much noise in this part of your career. I think everyone should be looking at him. So if we look at our own options for next season at centre-back, and again, we'll talk about the centre midfield options for next season as well. But when you go into next season, you've got Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and Jarrell Quansah, who can all play centre-back. We've got right-footers in there. Well, they're all right-footers, aren't they? So again, we're looking at another right-footed now. I think the good thing about having someone like a Joel Matip, having someone like a Joe Gomez, having someone like a Quansah, we know that they're not going to basically be a starter every single game. Those three will interchange and partner alongside Virgil van Dijk. But the good thing about having those three is the versatility and the age profiles of them, right? At this stage, I think, apart from obviously Virgil van Dijk, who I still expect to be Liverpool centre-back for the next 3 years, apart from that age of 31, you're looking at the oldest player is Joe Gomez, who's Liverpool's longest-serving player. You're also looking at Jarrell Quansah, who is 19. You're also looking at Ibu Konate, who's 23, 24. So it's a very young defence still. There's a mix of experience and legs there, but on average, those three players there, very young and a lot of potential, even still, for Ibu Konate to maximise onto. And Jarrell Quansah has got the world at his feet. But for me personally, I would still want us to go into this season with a new centre-back, knowing that there is no Joel Matip anymore. So Leny Yoro, let's have a look at his profile. I'm going to share my screen with you now to make sure that you guys can see the stats as well, these figures. Leny Yoro, I think he's going to the Euros with France as well. Plays in a team that, again, you know, in Ligue 1, he played 32 out of 34 games, scored 2 goals. You know, in the French league, Lille, you know, obviously they're not the biggest team. They're not a Monaco. They're not a PSG. They're not a Marseille. They're not a Lyon. But this is still a team that produces fantastic players. Now, if you look at the other players in the squad, you look at Angel Gomez, who obviously came from Manchester United. You look at Thiago Santos, who people have been speaking about as well. In goal, it's Vito Manone, who used to play at Arsenal. So to be 18 and starting this many games in Liga, whatever you want to say about Liga, to start this many games, right, 32 out of 34, to score 2 goals is great. But to start and be trusted with that many games, there must be something good about this boy, which I have seen instantly from the clips. Now, if you look at this part here, in terms of matches, there's not, you know, a mountain of clean sheets there. But again, he's not playing for the best team in the league. But in terms of, you know, Liga, it's 2 goals. It's a headed goal. It's a big chance scored. Total shots with 12. That's obviously not what we're interested in him about. But the interesting thing for me is if Real Madrid come in, then you're looking at a defense. And again, their defense is aging. You look at Carvajal, Nacho, Rudiger isn't a spring chicken anymore. You've got David Alaba that's obviously been injured for a long time. But if they are looking at another position, because let's face it, midfield, they're stacked, right? Strikers, they're more stacked than maybe any other team in the world. But it is that defense that needs a bit of a rejig, some new legs in there. And Leny Yoro probably wouldn't turn down, or he wouldn't. No player would turn down the opportunity to go to Real Madrid. Would he start every game? I'm not sure. But would he start every game at Liverpool? I'm not sure. Would he start every game at Man United? Probably not. Also, the reason why I don't think he ends up at United is because of the fact that United, as we've learned this morning and yesterday, are speaking to Jared Branthwaite from Everton. Everton have slapped down a £70 million price tag on the young English defender who didn't make the Euros in the end, which I thought was a bit harsh, if I'm honest. I mean, to take Lewis Dunk and Mark Gahey, yes, I know Gahey, you know, played well at the end of the campaign last year. I think if you're looking across the whole season, for me, Branthwaite was the better option over Dunk and Gahey as well. So unlucky not to go. I mean, Everton fans will be happy he's not going to be injured. United fans potentially happier that he won't be involved in the Euros. The price tag won't skyrocket even more. For Leny Yoro, for Jared Branthwaite. So I don't think he ends up at Manchester United. You know, Varane's out. He's gone. You're looking at potentially Lindelof, Martinez, Maguire, and Branthwaite next season. So I don't think they're a realistic option to go in for Leny Yoro. But at the same time, if Real Madrid do, can you say no to that? If Liverpool do, he's obviously guaranteed Champions League football, which he isn't at Manchester United. He would be in the Europa League if he went to United. But for me personally, I think it's a good option to look at for sure in terms of shoring up that defense, adding youth going forward. You know, none of the guys are getting younger. Of course they're not. But at the same time, from what I've seen, he looks like a Liverpool kind of player in the way that he brings the ball out from the back, very confident, strikes the ball nicely if that's a pass, if it's a long pass, if it's a short, punchy pass. From what I've seen, as well as the height on him as well, he has got all the attributes you would need to become a top centre-back for a top club in Europe. Now, this is exactly what I said about Jarrell Quansah last season in the pre-season. You remember, he played a lot of games, and I said at the time, I mean, guys, he was on loan at Bristol Rovers or Bristol City. I can't remember. I don't know the difference between the two. If one of them was a lot better than the other one, maybe it would be easier to tell. But at this stage, and at this stage last season, this time last year in pre-season, I was looking at Quansah and I was thinking he's tall, he's quick, he's young, he's playing next to Virgil van Dijk. He has all the attributes that you would possibly need to go ahead and be a top centre-back at some point for some team. Now, I fully believe that Joao Quansah will be the next Virgil van Dijk. I've got that much belief in him. But I do think we're just lacking in cover at the minute, cover for the centre-back option. Now, of course, there's other options out there that Liverpool could go through. But for me, Yoro is a great option because of the youth, because of the experience playing in Liga, playing against the likes of Mbappe last season. You know, is going to do him an absolute world of good in terms of his experience. So for me personally, I would like to go all in for Leny Yoro, who again, if he has a good Euros, then he should be probably priced even more. I'm just going to triple check that France squad for the Euros and just double check to see if he's in it, because if he is, that is some turnaround. And we know already how good France's centre backs are. I don't think he is in. I'm having a look now. I don't think he is in. Bear in mind, Saliba, Upamecano, Konate himself. You know, is there even a way that Konate could actually speak to Leny Yoro during this Euros and maybe give him that little drop on Liverpool and say, look, if you come here, you've got Virgil van Dijk to learn from, potentially the best centre-back of all time. Yeah, he's not in the squad. So it's Ferland Mendy, Upamecano, Koundé, who again can play right-back or centre-back, William Saliba, Jonathan Klaus, Theo Hernandez, and Ibrahima Konate, who is 25, I should say, not 23. And Benjamin Pavard, who, again, seems like a long time that he's been around for in that France squad. Weird to give Ibrahima Konate the number 24. Maybe he's asked for it, but he's number 5 at Liverpool. It's Camavinga, Griezmann, Tchouaméni, Kante, Rabiot, Zaire Emery, who was a late shout, a very young, talented midfielder. You've got Fofana in there as well, Giroud, Mbappe, Dembele, Mouani, Thuram, Coman, and Bradley Barcola as well, with obviously Didier Deschamps managing them. So didn't get through in the final squad for the Euros for France, but at the same time, he's knocking on that door. And if Konate can put his arm around the player and say, look, come to Liverpool, you've got Champions League football, you'll definitely play a handful of Premier League games, you definitely play European games, you definitely be involved in the Cup. And again, Arne Slot has a lot of work to do in terms of nailing down that pre-season, a strong effort to go into the new season in the best way possible. And I do think, you know, if he is interested in Liverpool, then Euro should be well in terms of Arne Slot's radar, in terms of bringing players in. So for me personally, I'd have him. The age-old question is, will Real Madrid come and swoop him away? Because I'll be honest, if I'm him at 18 years old and they're the best two options, I would pick Real Madrid just because I believe they're the only club bigger than us in world football. And we've seen players leave us to go to La Liga a few times. And he owes us nothing. We're just being linked with him at this stage. But I do think to learn from Virgil van Dijk should be any centre-back's priority. If you really want to expand your game, learn from the very, very best who's won it all, then it is come to Liverpool. If you want to join the current European champions, the current Spanish champions, then go to Real Madrid. I'm not holding anyone back from doing that if they must, because, again, ambitious footballers will always want to play at the very, very top level. But for me personally, I'd love to see him. Let us know in the chat. We're going to go through some of your comments now and let me know if you're interested in Euro, because I certainly am. All right, let's see some chats from you guys. Shout out to Robbie YNWA, you never walk alone. Hi boys, love the show, but a bit worried about how much the new boss has to and will have to say who he wants to need a top centre-back, CDM, left-back and right wing. What do you think? I mean, let's break that down. Arne Slot will come in as the head coach of Liverpool, not the out-and-out manager. He won't have the same pull and same influence on transfer innings and outings as Jurgen Klopp. He's going to have to deal with Richard Hughes, Julian Ward, Michael Edwards, the new CEO of football for FSG. And they're between them going to have to come up with targets. But I do think, really, if you're looking at the data, which Liverpool do, if you're looking at the statistics, the almost data-driven approach that Liverpool have taken on recently with not only players but also managers as well, then surely Yoro is definitely up there and you should be having a look at him. So I'd like to see if he is on Liverpool's radar at all. Nathan Smith says, "Hey lads, hope you're well. We should be all in for Elise. What is the club playing at?" I heard Elise is talking to Chelsea, or he's been given permission to talk to Chelsea. So there you go. That doesn't look like he's going to come to Liverpool. And whilst you've still got Mo Salah, there's no need for, in my opinion, to go in for Michael Elise. Yes, big up DJ Maddox. Shout out to you. Robbie says, "Do you think we spend big in the summer?" It depends how you define big. I'm thinking, let me think. I think personally, and this is just my opinion, I think 3 signings. A goalkeeper who can come in as a number 2, or you promote Yaros to, thumbs up to that, or you promote Yaros to number 2 and you buy a number 3. If Kelleher leaves, obviously I'd love Kelleher to stay, but I would understand if he left. So let's say 20 million, 10 to 20 million on a third choice goalie. Let's say if the club choose to go in and buy a CDM, which I actually don't think they do, knowing that Stefan Bajcetic, knowing that Endo are still around this season, let's say if they did choose to do that, which we are led to believe that they will, let's say 35 mil. So let's give or take 50 mil so far. And then if you are going to buy a young upcoming centre-back, you're looking at another 35 to 40. So I'm thinking Liverpool potentially spend 85 to 100 million this summer. Again, is that enough? Are those the positions that you'd like to see the money be spent? Do let us know in the chat. Interesting one from Robbie. When is the new boss going to make an appearance? Well, we found out where the boss is. Me and Doyle spoke about this on Tuesday morning. The new boss, Arne Slot, is currently sunning it up in Ibiza. And there was me, there was Doyle, there was a lot of Liverpool fans saying, "Get to work, lads. We don't want to see you on the beach. We want to see you in the office getting ready for the new season." But fair enough. He obviously did come to Liverpool. We heard he was at the Titanic, but then he's obviously done a bit of a holiday that he might have had booked in. I mean, I'm not sure how lenient the Liverpool seniors would be, knowing that they've signed him to start on June the 1st. And then he goes, "That's fine, sign the contract. I have got a holiday though. So can I still go on that?" Because, you know, in jobs that I used to work in, office jobs or whatever it is, you would sign the contract and start. And the first question they'd ask you is, "You haven't got any holidays coming up, do you?" So for him to go away and go to Ibiza is great. You know, have a relaxing time before the hard work starts. But there's a small part of me that thinks, get off holiday. Maybe I'm old school. Get in the office, become accustomed to the AXA. You know, get all your staff ready for the new season. Be prepared for when the players come back off of the Euros. You know, he's obviously going to have to wait for 10 players to come back from the Euros. They're going to have an extended break. He won't be able to use the likes of Virgil van Dijk. Won't be able to use the likes of Trent. Won't be able to use the likes of Ryan Gravenberch, Cody Gakpo, Ibu Konate in the early parts of the pre-season because they'll be on an extended break. But there is a part of me that thinks, get in the office. I don't want to see you on holiday, right? I know a lot of people saying my manager is on holiday having a drink and that with his wife and kids. That's great, and I'm not I'm not dissing that. I'm not putting that down. I do think everyone needs a holiday. But I just think whilst the Euros is on, this is your time to get in early and get ahead of the game. That's just me. Am I right or wrong? Let me know in the chat. I might well be wrong. But I thought I'd ask you anyway. He'll go to Madrid. If we had Klopp, we would have a chance. Yeah, I mean, he could end up at Madrid. Wesley says at 18, I think Yoro would be a good for a rotational piece. He develops well. Maybe a replacement for Van Dijk. I mean, you know, we should go in for him just to piss Everton off. Yoro is going to Madrid. We've been down this road before. And this is the other side of the coin when you're going for players that Real Madrid are also interested in. You know, we wanted Jude Bellingham. Where did he end up? Real Madrid. We were linked very briefly with Kylian Mbappe. Where's he gone? Real Madrid. Sold Michael Owen to Real Madrid. Sold Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid. Sold Jersey Dudek to Real Madrid. There's been a lot of business. Steve McManaman, Liverpool to Real Madrid. If I'm missing any, please do let me know. But I think I'm almost a little bit fed up now. And this is what happens, though, unfortunately, when you are competing with the number one club in Europe. But I'm a little bit fed up now of being second best to Madrid and losing out in transfer targets to them. It seems like whenever we found someone that we like, Real Madrid just swoop over the top and take them, especially the Brazilian players as well, as we know. Elise would be nice if he stays healthy. I mean, I just can't see us going in for Elise when you still got Mo Salah there, guys. Wake up. Not much to read, but but New York Times actually used The Athletic to say Liverpool and Man United wanted him. I mean, listen, Manchester United is still one of the biggest clubs in the world. However, right now, if you're looking at the outlay, the future, I would choose Liverpool. And that's not me being biased. I just think with the uncertainty of the manager, even though they've backed him, they've looked around, not seen anyone better than him free, so they've come back to him. It's a bit of an insult to him. So there you go. Where will Yoro end up if Manchester United are interested? Dream transfer window from Pro. Antonio Silva, Hinsapie at centre-back, Bruno G, Neves or Edison as a DM. I don't think Bruno G is an out-and-out DM. He's more of a box-to-box for me. Edison, a very good target from Atalanta, who I saw in the flesh, was excellent in the Europa League final in Dublin. João Neves, very good player as well. £100 million release clause, though. We don't want to get into the whole Lavia situation again, where we're bidding crazy fees and not getting nothing for it. Holiday, what's a holiday? Shout out to Kelly. Big up to you. I feel like that sometimes as well. Got no issues with Arne's holiday. End of the day, it's his job to coach the team, and most of the squad is away. So the work is on Edwards, Hughes, recruitment, etc. You're right. You're 100% right, B. Winnie. However, if Edwards, Hughes are working on the recruitment, then surely as the head coach, you would like to have an ear across those conversations as well. Yes, they're probably in a WhatsApp group. Yes, they're probably convulging a little piece before the official duties begin, which they did really on June the 1st. But yeah, listen, I'm not silly. I understand that a lot of his players are away at the Euros right now. So what is there to do? So go on your holiday. But from next week, I don't want to see no more holiday pictures. I'm sorry, you don't need a 2 or 3 week holiday. If that was me, I'd be itching to get stuck in. Yes, there might not be any players there, but let's boost the morale of the club. Let's release some videos and pictures of Arne Slot settling in nicely to the new work surroundings. Let's see him in the office putting that overtime in. That's what I want to see. I might be old school, I know, but that's what I'd like to see. I think Wesley says, I think Slot taking time off is fine. Would I like to see him in now? Definitely. He's about to take on the toughest challenge professionally. A holiday seems warranted. It does. And please don't get me confused. It really does. It is warranted. A very long season with Feyenoord as well, don't forget. But how long should the holiday be? Let us know in the chat right now. Yes, he should go on holiday. No one's denying him of that. But how long should it be? In my opinion, no longer than 10 days. If you're about to start as Liverpool manager, you shouldn't want to be on holiday. And again, might sound old school, but you've had your fun. Get to work, fella. Even my mum didn't like it. I was speaking to her last night. She said, what's going on with this Arne Slot, fella? And I said, Mum, he's on holiday. He's in Ibiza, sunning it up. And she pulled that face. Yeah, old Scouse mums. Not old. That's a bit disrespectful. Scouse mums, when they do that face, you're in trouble. So Mum Gilday was not happy, I'll be honest. She wants to see him at work. Rishi Sunak to Real Madrid. He doesn't have Sky. Very good. What a poor guy. Didn't grow up with Sky TV. Oh, diddums. Yeah. Billionaire. So absolutely no sympathy for him. Who do you think was serious? I don't know. Like I said, the transfer window opens today, but I've got no idea who we're going to go in for. So I don't know. The realistic ones, I don't know, man. Genuinely don't know. Again, until I see the manager, I can't give you any answers until I've seen something to go off. I don't know. I don't want round 3. Yep, Tchouameni, we could have got him as well. He obviously went to Madrid and beat us in the Champions League final. I guess we'll find out if the future players want to play for Slot, but the results must be good enough to earn their trust. Shout out to Timothy over in, I was going to say Australia, over in America. He's always tuned in. Big fan of yours, bro. Keep it going. What would be your 11 next season with players you'd like to see in a 4-2-3-1? We'll go Alisson, Trent, Virgil, Konate, Robbo. I don't think that defense can get any better with the signings that we're looking at. I think Yoro, obviously, if he does join Liverpool, it's definitely as an understudy to every single centre back, really, in terms of Kwanzaa, Konate, and Van Dijk. The midfield, we know Slot likes to go with 2 pivots. I mean, there's a shout to even put Conor Bradley at right back and then go with Trent and McAllister, Trent and Endo, Trent and Bejcetic and Endo, Szoboszlai and McAllister and Bejcetic, McAllister and Endo. And then the 3, I'd go Diaz, Szoboszlai, Salah, and then Núñez up front, or Gakpo, or Jota. And that's why I don't think we need any strikers or wingers in the summer. I think we'd be a little bit greedy to be in for them. John Rooney says, what is it? Any business of yours that he's on holiday? Fair enough if we're in late July. Get a grip, Rooney says. Do you know what? It is my business, mate, because I support Liverpool Football Club and he's the manager. And if he is on holiday, again, that is none of my business. You are correct. But if he's on holiday for a little bit too long and we've not seen anything, because I do think I am a little bit frustrated at the minute. We're now 2 weeks into Arne Slot's reign and we've not seen as much as a picture. The only picture we've seen is him on holiday, which is fine, but no more than 10 days. He's probably already been away for a week as well. So it's not his fault that we haven't announced. I'm aware of that. We're obviously waiting for a certain time to drop the bomb and make a big splash. But Doyle, as you heard on the podcast the other day, says we're not going to hear from him for another month. He said July the 15th. So you saying if we're in late July, mid-July, is that okay for you then, mid-July? 6 weeks without hearing anything? No, not for me. I'd like to at least hear an interview. I don't even think I've heard him speak in English, to the press yet. I'd like to see a picture. I'd like to see him, like I said, being accustomed to the AXA, walking around and being in the change rooms. I'd like to see all that. Learn your history. If it's a case of watching loads of season reviews from the last 40 years to understand the culture of the city of Liverpool, if it's in the city, understanding the impact that Hillsborough is. I want to see everything. I want you to soak up everything. If I'm honest, seeing pictures of the boss in Ibiza doesn't interest me. It doesn't. That's just my opinion, though. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Kwanzaa could have done well for England at the Euros. I mean, fantastic talent, man, and very good at such a young age. For me personally, I was with Robbie the other day. We did a combined predicted 11. He actually went for a defence, which I didn't agree with entirely, but I did like the fact that he had Pickford, Trent, Dunk, Stones, and Gomez as the back 5, which I can get behind. But yeah, Kwanzaa, I think it was a great experience for him to be involved in the lead up to a Euros. Maybe it's the next World Cup that he's involved in. Maybe it's the next Euros. So there you go. Even Jurgen was at Anfield last night. He was at Anfield last night for the Taylor Swift tour, the Era Tour, I believe it's called, at Anfield. If you were there, let us know. Was it any good? To be honest, I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift. I'm not a fan of pop music in general. But fair play to her. Apparently she's brought Liverpool 5 to 10 million in revenue over the next 2 nights, excluding last night. So the next 3 nights, she'll be bringing 5 to 10 million in. Hopefully that goes straight into the transfer kitty to LFC. Robbie says, what do you want him to do? Just turn up on the first day of the season? No, you're not quite getting it, mate. I'd like him to turn up now. Or are you talking about what John said? I did not say that late. I'm saying if it's that late, that is wrong. It should be early July. Again, the Euros will still be going on in early July. So for me personally, I would have almost broke the internet and announced this. Well, even today would be all right. Even yesterday would have been fine. So yeah, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. Maybe I'm being a bit old school, but get to work. Get to work. It's all very well and good having your deserved holiday that you've really earned. But let's get to work now. Even if there's no players in, I'd still like to see some kind of getting ahead of the game, some early commitment from the manager. And yeah, Robbie was talking to John there as well. Arne was doing more talking before he officially got the job. Would have liked an official. That's what I'm saying, John. I'm not saying I need him to be in 9 till 5 every single day. But this guy was very quick to announce that he's going to become the next manager of Liverpool, whilst he was still at Feyenoord. Very quick to talk about his future. But we've not seen anything since he's joined 2 weeks ago, John. That's what I'm saying. And an official press conference by now would have been fine. What's that, 20 minutes? Answering questions from the press, doing a bit of media for the club. Maybe that is a full day's work, but one day. I'm not asking for him to be in 9 to 5, Monday to Sunday. I'm just saying that by this point right now, the least we could have expected is a little press conference. That's all I'm saying, John. I'm not saying, yeah, anyway, you get my point. Shout out Paul, who's also told us that, yes, Alvaro Arbeloa did go to Real Madrid as well after 2 or 3 years at Liverpool. Biggest transfer I'd like to see is Van Dijk, Trent and Mo all signed to extensions. That is a great shout. And again, even though the players are not in the team or the players are not in the AXA, you can still be reaching out to Mo's representatives. You can still be organising meetings, Zoom meetings with Virgil and Trent whilst they've got a bit of downtime at the Euros. There is still loads of work to be getting done with. And again, Wesley is absolutely spot on. The first 3 signings that Liverpool need to make are these 3 guys right here, Trent, Virgil and Mo. So let's get them over the line as well. Madrid wants Yoro, as we know. Not the normal one, but the invisible one at the minute, says Dennis. What are you going on about, Robbie? It seems to be a bit of beef here between John and Robbie in the chat. But listen, we are hopefully in for Yoro. Again, I'd love to see him in a Liverpool shirt. It gives us that extra cover, that depth, that stability, the legs. I really like his playing style. He brings the ball out from the back. Like I said, he can ping a ball. He can play a short ball. He can cut through the lines. So I'd like to see that. But apart from that, guys, when we're looking around the radar, the transfer radar, there aren't many other names that are springing to mind. And with the Euros, if there is someone that we were interested in during the Euros and they have a decent tournament, that fee goes up. That is the danger of the Euros, not to be sucked in by a few good games. Look at Amrabat, right? Played brilliantly for Morocco, fantastic for his country in the World Cup 2022 in Qatar, but has been absolutely awful, Fiorentina and Manchester United since then. So you can't just go off a good tournament. Now, of course, as the summer progresses, as the window opens, as the Euros finishes, as Arne Slot starts his job finally, there will be more names linked, and of course I'll have them all for you on the radar. So guys, please make sure you absolutely smash that like button. I'll be back on most likely Monday on the podcast now with Doyle on Hot Topics. But let me know. I'm asking you guys, the transfer window is officially open. Would you like to see Yoro join Liverpool? The 18-year-old number 15 centre-back from Lille is supposedly on the market. And it's not just Liverpool, it's Manchester United and Real Madrid in for him as well. And then, as I said, any other names that pop up onto my radar, I will discuss them and ask you about them here on the Kop TV. So please make sure you smash that like button. Let's get your comments in. Would you like to see Yoro come through the door? Would you like to see anyone else come in specifically that you can drop in the chat? And if you have not already, please, I'm begging you guys, make sure you subscribe to the Kop TV. This has been On the Radar. I've been AGT. You've been yourself. See you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you check out the rest of the channel too. There's other stuff you'll enjoy for sure.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous dads.
Come on.